Bonjour. The units of measurement in French. Who else wants to learn the units of measurement? I'm asking you this question right now. Smells awesome. I had to make this video because I received hundreds of messages begging for a video on this topic. Literally, I didn't know what to do with all these messages, and I thought nobody cared, but it turns out everybody does. Or am I making this up? Yes, of course I'm making this up. This is a joke. No one wants to learn about the units of measurement. It is a tragedy. We live in a world where everything can be measured and put into charts and statistics, and it's really, really interesting to go to find out what those numbers mean when we stack them together and try to measure and understand those statistics. But most people are not interested in that. That I know. Maybe you know a lot of people who are interested in that. And in that case, well, you're kind of lucky, because then you can have a conversation with them and do some cool exercises with them. In this video, sarcasm aside, in this video, measurements are reviewed, and you'll find that they're actually quite interesting. Without further ado, let's go. Les mesures en français, les unités de mesure en particulier. And we're going to start with units of weight, so les unités de poids. And you're going to find they're quite similar in French than in English. Un kilogramme, very similar than in English. Un hectogramme, 100 grammes. I rarely hear people use that word. They usually say a kilo or 100 grams, but few people that I know use hectogramme. Un décagramme, 10 grams, 1 gramme, 1 gramme. Un décigramme, below 0, un décigramme. Un centigramme, 1 milligramme. This is for the weight, okay? And you'll have an exercise after this video that will test your knowledge. So I'm not just reading a text for you. What I'm doing now is just making it clear that it's not that complex if you pay attention to the first part that gets attached to the word gramme. Kilo hectodéca, décicentimilli. Same applies for quantities of liquids. Unité de capacité. 1000 liters, un kilolitre. 100, un hectolitre. A bit different? No, it's not different than with the grams, it's the same. 10 liters, un décalitre. Again, décagramme. Un litre, a liter. A tenth, un décilitre, un centilitre, un millilitre. You know, all you have to do is to remember those 6 parts of words, and actually there's less than that to remember, because you probably already know kilo, right? You've already smuggled drugs, so you know what it is to carry a lot of things on a boat and then have the police arrest the boat. What can you do in that situation? I'm asking you, what can you do when you get arrested and you're smuggling drugs, kilos of drugs, thousands of kilos of drugs? Not much to do, but you can always start anew and become a French teacher if that happens. Units of measurements. Now, the distances. 1000 meters, un kilomètre. 100 meters, un hectomètre. 10 meters, un décamètre. Same, 3 times. Un mètre. A tenth, un décimètre. Un centimètre. Un millimètre. Alright? This is so similar to English that maybe what we're doing is just a review of what you already know in English, except that, you know, we're going to add 1 letter or 2 letters here and there, left and right, to find out how to translate that in French. But then we have units of time. In that case, well, we have something different. Or not really, actually. 60 secondes, 60 secondes are 1 minute. Une minute. 60 minutes donne 1 heure. 24 heures, ça fait une journée. And notice that I said a journée et pas un jour. But you could say both. You know, un jour, une journée. What's the difference? Un matin, une matinée. Un soir, une soirée. I get that question often, so we're going to quickly review that point if you stick with me for a second, because it is an interesting point here. It is totally improvised. Nothing of this video has been planned before. So we're just trying to experiment with what we know. Un jour is a unit of time. Une journée is anything that happens throughout the course of a day. It's something longer. In theory, we cannot count a unit of time as a journée. We're going to say un jour in that case. Because if you have 3 days, you're going to say trois jours. If you're doing something throughout the course of a day, pendant la journée, during the day, pendant la journée, j'aime, let's say, regarder les bateaux. I like to watch the boats. Well, during the day, it occurs over the course of several hours. And you can see here that because it occurs over time, it's not a specific unit of time, we use journée instead of jour. But you're going to say trois jours when you talk about, oh, I quit smoking 3 days ago. Il y a trois jours. Il y a trois jours. Because we're talking about units. And that was what I wanted to cover here between parentheses. Because now back to the lesson. And 7 jours forment une semaine, a week. 52 weeks, 52 semaines. Well, that's a year, right? A year is 365 days. Or, in the case of une année bissextile, those days that have one extra day, and it's usually a nightmare for those people who have to work an extra day. And yeah, well, I'm not judging because really everybody has to work an extra day, but really it's not helping to say that the world is really like so damn hard because it's an extra day. It's only making it harder. Une année bissextile, 366 jours. Une décennie, 10 years. Un siècle, 100 years. All right, now we covered 4 different kind of units of measurements in French. Of course, there are others, but here we're just using what mostly you'll be able to use in a normal situation when you go to France and you want to weigh the bread. You know, if you want to buy a lot of baguettes, you need to maybe weigh them at some point. If you want to smuggle baguettes at the airport, who knows? Well, you're going to have to weigh them just to make sure that the customs, well, you know, do not ask you to stop smuggling baguettes, because really you're not supposed to do that. Real French baguettes only are sold in France and shouldn't be smuggled outside of the country. And equipped with all that knowledge, we can dig into the sample sentences. Very, very simple here. We have, first off, unit of measurement. The drone track spans 2 kilometers. Le circuit de drone s'étend sur 2 kilomètres. Easy. My best lap, 2 minutes 6 seconds. Mon meilleur tour, 2 minutes et 6 secondes. Notice that I say seconde, which is strange because it's clearly a C that you see on screen. But I'm saying G, I'm saying G. So, seconde, this is how we say, and this is really a word of warning here. Do not say seconde, it is seconde. Also, should we drink a liter of wine before or after the race? Devrait-on boire? You could also say on devrait boire, and then finish the sentence and then ask the question, raise your voice at the end. That would form a question as well, but in that case, I usually like to mimic English. It'll make it easier for you as an English-speaking person to mimic the English language while speaking French, at least at first, before it gets more complex when you reach very advanced French level. Devrait-on boire 1 litre de vin avant ou après la course? It's a good question. I get asked that question very often. Well, the answer is before and after, because French wine is very healthy for you. Really it is. And eventually we have this. Units of weight. I bought a 6 kilo catalyst with the prize. So whoever competed in that drone race won, and they bought a 6 kilo catalyst with the prize. J'ai acheté un catalyseur de 6 kilos avec la récompense, with the prize. 6 kilo here, purists would say this is wrong. 6 kilo only means 6,000. There's no unit after that. This is just a number. You ignorant. Well, the reason why I didn't add that is really because no one says that in real life. But if you really want to complicate things when they do not need to be complex, you could say j'ai acheté un catalyseur de 6 kg avec la récompense. And that sums it up. Really, now that you know these things, you will have access to all that theory on the website. Of course, the link is below the video, and the exercise is patiently waiting for you, but it won't wait forever because the clock is ticking and we have other people learning French. And how long is it going to take for someone to learn French if they at some point do not start taking the exercises seriously? This is what I recommend you did, of course, but clearly you have absolutely no power over your actions. So the decision is yours. In the meantime, have a good day.